try to use the method that Slavonsky suggested me. Good. Now that I have figured out how the code works, nothing can stop me from sticking my nose into Marzetti's business. Written in this booklet, there are pages and pages of names of people working for Black Lily. Starting from delivery boys and police officers and going all the way up to cardinals and politicians. The more you read, the higher the rank of the mentioned person. I wouldn't be surprised to find God's name at the end of the list. But I don't have to get all the way to the end of the list to find the name that I was looking for, the name that I knew that I was going to find. I just had to get halfway through the booklet to find Leroy Malone's name. Maybe this will be the most idiotic thing that I'll ever do in my life, but nothing will stop me from getting into that department and shoving proof about Marzetti's ties to Black Lily in his face.
Hey, you. If you're looking for Lieutenant Malone, you're not lucky at all. He left half an hour ago.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but he left this for you.
Malone has disappeared. The only thing he left is this piece of paper with a number on it. 555-7589. No, it doesn't. An American flag. I have to buy one.
Let me get.
Essex.
We see.
Hello, New York operator.
Can you dial in?
What's the number?
555-7589.
Coming up.
Hello?
Malone, is that you?
Del Nero. I'm happy to see you got my message.
Yeah, and I have also found out a couple of interesting things about you.
You don't know nothing, Del Nero.
You're on Marzetti's payroll, I know that. You think it's enough?
So go report me to the head detective. No, wait. Go tell the police chief in person. If you don't know the names, you can find them in that notebook you took from Marzetti.
I see you know about the notebook.
I was informed about it.
Let me guess. You were the one that Marzetti was talking to when he realized that I wasn't just one of the many detectives passing through his joint.
Looks like you listened to the telephone call.
Yeah.
Del Nero, this is too big for you. This isn't some jealous wife who kills her husband or some rich guy knocked off because of a will. Get out of the city. Take the girl with you if you want, but disappear forever.
Thanks for the advice, but I intend to get to the bottom of this.
Why did you do it? It's certainly not to get justice for your old pal McLean.
Could be. After all, he gave his life to protect a kid. I think he deserves it.
I didn't take you for such a sentimental guy.
Everyone has his defects.
Del Nero, if you really want to know what's going on, be at Ellis Island in a half an hour, and I'll tell you everything.
Ellis Island? Who's to say it isn't just a trap?
No one, but I'm sure you'll be there. You're a guy who's more curious than careful.
Ellis Island. Half an hour.
Don't be late.
You know how to get to Ellis Island?
What you want to do at Ellis Island in middle of night?
Just answer the question.
Of course I know get to Ellis Island.
Okay, let's go. Ellis Island. Any immigrant who came to improve his lot in this country knows this island. This is where they put you the first time you set foot in America. As soon as you get off the boat, a guy with an elegant white lab coat visits you. If you don't have health or mental problems, you're allowed to enter the registration room. There, some kind of inspector asks you all kinds of information about you, where you were born, how much money you have, and if you have a criminal record. If you answer correctly to all these questions, welcome. Starting today, you're part of the grand old USA too. The Statue of Liberty. When I got to New York, it was the first thing I saw. A powerful and proud woman with a torch full of hope, shining a light on the entire world. But today, that hope has turned into melancholy. Melancholy for everything we could have become in this country, but didn't. It could be a nice keychain if it weren't as tall as a skyscraper. It must be Malone.
Hi, Del Nero.
Malone.
A man was killed at the Melville port tonight by the usual suspects. That's basically what I was supposed to write in the report about the McLean homicide. That's what Black Lily ordered me to do. But something changed their plans. Your friend was able to escape, hide the girl, and call the police. And if that wasn't enough, he decided to call you too. He knew that the people who were looking for him wouldn't have had any problems buying the silence of some lieutenant or even of the police chief. So he needed someone he considered to be incorruptible. You.
John always thought too much of my honesty.
Even before escorting you to the department, I had instructions to frame you. You had a history with McLean, and that made things easier for me. The point was to keep you here until the men from Black Lily, disguised as forensics, collected everything they needed from the port.
A perfect plan.
Right. But your friend got involved, paying your bail and pointing you to the trail of the real killers of your former colleague. Even if you were out on bail, I never thought you'd make it all the way to Marseille.
It seems that, as a detective, I'm not a complete washout yet. And it also seems that you are not as honest as the award hanging in the police department affirms with so much pride.
Well, that isn't just a simple award, Del Nero. It's a promissory note on my soul.
Explain that.
I received that award from Mayor Weston for having caught Samuel Cutter, the former boss of Black Lily here in New York.
Yes, I know the case. And I'm also smart enough to understand that not everything is as rosy as it seems.
Cutter wasn't well seen, and the organization didn't like him. They knew that with the public opinion against them, getting control over the city wouldn't have been as easy as it had been in the past. So they decided to get Cutter and all the people connected to him arrested. At least, that's what they wanted the people to believe. Actually, the only ones who ended up in the slammer were simple collaborators and a few small-time crooks. In some cases, even regular folks who for some reason had a debt with him.
Patrick Olson.
No, he was one of the many.
Malone, why are you telling me this story?
Because you are my only chance at redemption, Del Nero, at least in part for everything I've done over the years.
Do you think that by letting me live, I'll destroy an organization like Black Lily? Malone, I'm a private detective, not a superhero in a kid's comic book.
I'm not expecting anything from you, Del Nero. But given how the organization is persisting on looking for the girl, I guess she's got to be pretty important to them. And if they can't find her, maybe something might change.
They'll get rid of you as soon as they figure out what you're doing.
If that's how things are supposed to go, let them.
What are you planning to do now?
Nothing. I'll just wait and see what happens. And there's no better place to do that than in front of a huge statue that symbolizes justice.
Whatever you want.
Well, good luck, Del Nero. May destiny smile on you.
I don't believe in destiny, Malone.
I'm sure.
I leave Malone with his thoughts and go away. Maybe his advice to get a change of scene isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe that's what I should do. I should disappear. All of a sudden, a hiss interrupts my thoughts, and then silence again, a silence full of death. Malone crumples over as if he were without a skeleton, a limp body that hits the floor. Then a second hiss, a sharp pain in my neck. I fall on my knees. My muscles aren't responding to me. Anesthetic. My vision starts to get cloudy. I fall into darkness.
I hate people who are late, and the guy that I'm waiting for should have been here more than an hour ago. I can't stand it. I can't stand any of the reasons why people are late. Whether they didn't plan their time properly, had a problem, or even worse, know that the person who's waiting for them doesn't have a choice. The man that should have been here an hour ago has documents that I need to have if I want to leave this state with the girl. Without those, I would have to stay in this dump for who knows how long. All of a sudden, the joint's door starts to creak. Someone's coming in. A horrible stench of cologne fills me nostrils. It's him. It's Smiley. He sits down at the bar and starts talking like we were old friends. I cut him short and I ask him if he has what I need. He puts the documents on the table, a nautical passport and a permit to let the girl get on board. He tells me that the passport is missing the photograph and that I'll have to get one myself. Then he takes a napkin and writes a name. Sainte Marie de la Mer. This is the name of the ship that I have to take to leave New York. Getting on a mercantile ship pretending to be a sailor is the only way that I have found to leave the state. And according to what Smiley says, I'll have to get to Brooklyn to do so. I expressly asked to set sail from Newark, but Smiley doesn't seem to have understood. I'm grasped by an incredible desire to punch him in the face, but it's not the time. I give Smiley the money. $50. Too much for false documents, but not that excessive considering that they are the only way to save me life. After taking the money, Smiley sputters something that sounds like good luck and leaves. Taken with him the stench of his cologne dabbed on in the hope of hiding the chemical stench of the crap he works with all day. Ridiculous. The guy that I almost put in the slammer a few years back for forging documents is now the same guy from whom I'm buying me freedom. Destiny is a strange thing. I'm in the middle of nowhere with a stolen car and a girl that I don't even know. What a great situation. No, better let her sleep. I bet that if I looked up the word yokel in the dictionary, I'd find a photograph of this guy. Better not. I better be careful around here. These are the documents that Smiley brought me. Better take them. John Ford? That idiot Smiley used the first name he thought of to falsify these documents. Knowing him, I should have checked them out before giving him the money. But apart from breaking his nose, there isn't much I could have done. I'll need to leave this state as soon as possible. And I definitely don't have time to redo the documents considering that I need a photograph for them to be useful. Ketchup, napkin, everything that you need. I don't need. No, but I'm in the mid. By looking at the cables, I'd say that it must be the electric panel. If I get near it, that yokel owner wouldn't think twice about pumping me full of lead.
What do you want, stranger?
Is this your place?
Yes, and the rifle I keep in my hands as well.
I see that there's a warm welcome in this house.
My friend, this place sees mostly farmers and truck drivers, and I don't like you, your little friend, and that guy who came in a while ago.
I'm just passing through.
I hope it. City slickers don't do well here.
I have to go.
Okay.
A Confederate flag. I hate Confederates. Bottles of whiskey. If I want a drink, I have me. I'm not going to touch it. Saint John Ford. The sign in front of the station says gas. The sign in front of the station says kerosene. Half special, lard with beans. I guess I couldn't expect champagne and caviar in these parts. It's the car I used to get. Considering who I stole it from, I don't think it'll be reported as stolen. Before I go back to New York, I need to figure out the problem of the photograph and the documents. It doesn't make... John Ford, born in Portland, 1898. I'd better remember this. It will be my identity for a long time. Before I go back to New York, I need to figure out the problem of the photograph and the documents. Open 24 hours a day. I guess that's the only reason to go to a place like this. There are booze signs, but I don't recognize any of the brands. One of the gas pumps is leaking. The pail is used to catch the leaking gas. What should I use with it? It doesn't make any... It doesn't make... It's a terrible idea. It doesn't... It doesn't... No. It's a terrible idea. No, it's a terrible... It's a terrible... No, no, no. An oil lamp. It's the wick. It's better to hook it up to the lamp. It's the wick. The gas cap. The tank's empty. What should I use with it? It's a terrible idea. It doesn't... Even if there's only a few drops of kerosene, it should be enough to make the lamp work. Now it should light up without problems. Better put the pail back in case I need more kerosene. It's the wick. It's better to hook it up. It's better to hook it up to the... It doesn't make it... The gas cap... A cornfield. It's in bad shape. Most of the plants are dry or rotten. I'll take a few kernels of corn. I took the only kernels that aren't rotten. A cornfield. It's in bad shape. It's a sort of photographic set. There are some wires running under the platform. This stuff probably needs to be plugged in. It doesn't work. I don't think it's plugged in. There are some wires It doesn't work. I don't think it's... There are some wires running under the platform. This stuff probably needs to be... It's a rain tank. Completely pointless. A few kernels of dried up corn. No, it isn't working this way. No. It doesn't make any sense. No, it isn't work. No. $0.10 for a gallon of gas and 8 for one of kerosene. Only in the countryside can you still find kerosene stations. Nowadays it's only tractors that still use that. Spittoon. Interesting metaphor for this place. I hate people who spit.
You again, stranger?
Is that cornfield back there yours?
Did the Winchester send you?
No one sends me. Who are the Winchesters?
Sons of bitches who bought the farm back there a few months ago.
You don't seem to like them that much.
Nah, they're good for nothing. You just have to look at how they keep their farm. The only thing they know how to do is drink and smoke on the porch.
And why should they send someone to ask questions?
Because the other night I shot one of them in the ass. Those bastards, after dusk, they come to the back of my gas pump and they start playing with their guns. They shoot at whatever they see. I warned them that even if one of those bullets touch my pumps, the whole place is gonna blow up. But they didn't listen. So the other night, as soon as I heard them shooting, I went out and I shot one of them in the ass. And that idiot ran away yelling like a little girl.
Good story.
Stranger, this isn't a big city. This is how we take care of things around here. And the same goes for you. Give me crap and I'll turn your city ass into a calendar.
Just point your gun at me once and I'll show you the difference between your old piece and my revolver.
Huh.
How does this camera out here work?
What do you want to know?
When I'm not talking to yokels, I dabble in photography.
Huh.
So, does that thing outside work or not?
No. I only use it when the Bunyan Derby goes by.
Bunyan Derby. What the hell is that?
Every March the 3rd, a marathon comes by from Los Angeles. About 200 idiots for 3 months trudge along Route 66 to New York. When they go by, they all want a photograph to remember their achievement. So I bought that thing there.
I need to take a photograph.
This is a gas station, not a photographer's lab. You need a photograph? Do like everyone else does and go see old Elliot in town. That old half-wit'll be more than happy to have a new customer.
I need it now.
And that's your problem, stranger.
I have to go.
Okay.
It doesn't make... It doesn't... No. It's a terrible idea. No, it isn't working this... No. It doesn't make... Ketchup, napkin, everything that you need to give... I don't need it. I'm in the middle of... No. A metal ashtray. That could be helpful. I don't have any idea what I could do with it, but I'll take it anyway. It doesn't make... It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. No. It's a terrible... It doesn't... It doesn't make... Nice stool. Nice stool. I don't have time. Bottles of whiskey. If I want... Jefferson Davis, Alexander Stevens, and other guys who a few decades ago wanted America. Fantastic. All I need... Not for me. Jefferson, fantastic. Jefferson, fantastic.
You again?
I have to...
Okay.
It doesn't make... It's a terrible... It doesn't... It doesn't... It doesn't... No. 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 It isn't working. It's a terrible... It's a terrible... It doesn't... No, it isn't working. An oil lamp. An oil lamp. Before I go back to... It fits perfectly. This idea is so crazy that it might just work. This idea is... It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible... A makeshift cooking range. A makeshift cook... No, better leave them there. The corn will heat up soon, and the popcorn special effects will start. I'd better be in the joint when that happens.
Damn, Winchesters, here we go again. The lesson from the last time clearly wasn't enough. Hey, you! I know you're hiding in the cornfields. Get out here if you have any guts, you sons of bitches. I'll show you.
Better not. If I get near that door, that yokel owner might shoot me. I better be careful. Risking getting shot with a gun for a few bucks isn't... It's a cash... That panel definitely powers up the photography. Now that the yokel's gone, there's nothing stopping me from using this panel. Better not touch this lever. If I cut the power to all the gas pumps... Better not touch this... Better not touch this lever. If... Good. Now that it works, let's see if I can make it as a photographer. I take the photograph and cut it somehow. Before attaching the documents, I hesitate for a second. From now on, my name is John Fard. Sean McLean doesn't exist anymore. Sean McLean is dead. Then I make up my mind and I attach the damn photo. I don't have time to get all misty-eyed now. The documents should be fine now. I can finally get away from this place. Better get the girl first. It's time to go. The car's headlights slice through the dark desolation of Essex County. I look for some landmarks to make the trip less boring, but I can't find anything. There's just darkness around me, and the car whizzes by in the middle of the road.
I'm sorry for the harsh wake-up, Del Nero, but Oscar and good manners never went hand in hand.
I kind of figured that out.
You must understand him. He's been out of the boxing world for too long. When he got diagnosed with a form of mutism, he was competing for the state's heavyweight title. Unfortunately, a rule doesn't allow people with his kind of problems to fight. So he had to continue in illegal joints. People there don't care much about rules. What they really care about is a good show. The first time I saw him fight, I immediately understood that that shabby ring under the stairs of a butcher shop wasn't the place for him. So I took him with me.
From beating people up to killing them. That's a big career move, I'd say.
Come on, Del Nero. We aren't an organization of killers. We follow an ideal.
What ideals? You're just criminals in search of power.
But power is an ideal, Del Nero. Our entire history was shaped by men who did great things in search of power. Do you really think that people like Julius Caesar or Napoleon did what they did for the sake of their people? Man was born to have power, and his entire existence is an expression of this desire. We study to get important jobs. We train to become stronger. We work at companies where we can move up the ladder. All this to have power.
I bet that you spent hours in front of the mirror repeating this little speech.
Del Nero, I just want you to see our reasons, and maybe avoid you ending up like that pathetic excuse for a man, Malone.
Go to hell, you and your reasons.
As you wish, Del Nero. I thought you were smarter, but if you don't plan on telling us anything if we use the carrot... Where is the girl?
What girl?
Why are you persisting in protecting a girl that has been entrusted to you by a man who's betrayed you in the past?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Del Nero, do you really want to die like your pal McLean? Del Nero, where's the girl? You're making me tired. I'm not going to ask you a second time. Where have you hid the girl?
Oh.
What is it, cat got your tongue? When Oscar's done with you, that won't be a problem anymore.
Edward, knock it off.
This voice. I know this voice. It's Victoria. What the hell is she doing here?
Now that the Good Samaritan has arrived, we're all here.
Edward, you're disgusting. When this story is over, you'll answer directly to the bosses for your conduct.
Victoria. How is it possible that she is mixed up in this story? It's impossible.
This disgusting behavior is the only way to get your little friend to talk. It looks like he's having fun playing the tough guy.
I told you that you wouldn't have gotten anything from him.
So how do you plan to figure out where he hid the girl?
Using a little intelligence and civility.
Are you going to get him to tell you where he hid the girl just by asking pretty please?
We don't need him to tell us.
What do you mean?
If, before you started leaning on him, you'd look in his pockets, you'd have figured out where the girl is.
You know where she is?
On the Lower East Side, in a small pub owned by a certain Greta Reed.
Greta Reed?
Dannazione. Greta's handkerchief. They must have figured out from that where the girl is. Greta's in danger. I have to do something, but I can't even talk. That beast has gone to town on me.
Jack, can you hear me? I'm sorry about everything that's happened. I didn't want to put you in the middle of all this, but I didn't have a choice. That girl is too important to us. She has to go back to where she came from.
Victoria, how could you?
I'm sorry, Jack. I'd like to explain it all to you, but there is no time. As soon as we get out of the city, you and your friend will be freed. But don't try to follow us. I'm sorry things went this way. Goodbye, Jack.
Victoria.
Edward, you and your ape can come with me. We have to load the cars. The plane is waiting for us. Hurry up.
Plane? What plane? Victoria, where are you taking the girl?
Del Nero, it looks like you got lucky this time. Your friend saved you just in time. But the next time we meet, I can't guarantee you'll be so lucky.
Edward!
Don't worry, Good Samaritan. I won't do anything to him.
Hurry up. We don't have time.
It looks like we'll have to go now, Del Nero. Let Oscar say his goodbyes.
My head. I must have passed out for a while. Judging from the light filtering through the windows, it must be at least 6 a.m. Out there, the sun's rising. Some thugs with a love for archaeology are running away with a girl, and I'm stuck here, tied to a chair with a nose that looks like mush. I better figure out how to free myself. are some controls in here. See anything but I'm tied up. It's the distal. These crates contain peat, the combustible used to produce. I don't see anything that could. I don't see anything that could be used. I don't see. I don't. It's a steam engine. This steel beast must have some part in the alcohol distillation process. I don't see. It's a steam. It's a steam engine. I don't see any. Greta's handkerchief. If I hadn't had it with me, they would have never found out about her. That ogre would have probably beaten me to a pulp, but I'm tied up. Spinning wheel should be good enough to cut the tape that's keeping my hands tied. Good. I managed to cut the tape that was tying my hands. Now I just have to figure out how to get out of here. Dannazione, my nose. It started to bleed again. If I don't want to pass out like a little girl, I better fix my nose as soon as possible. Given the situation, I don't think that Greta will be offended if I use her handkerchief to stop the bleeding. First, I need to disinfect it and find a way to keep it on my nose. If I want to use it to stop... Tape will be... If I want to use it... The gun isn't there. A drop of rye was just what I needed. It helped with my aching nose, but I still have to try to fix myself up as soon as possible. I won't get too far in this condition. No, it doesn't. Sean's rye will work perfectly as a disinfectant. It's Greta's hang. Yes, that should work now. Now it's better, but I doubt that the bandage will hold for long. I must get out of here as soon as possible. Hey, is anybody there?
Hey, investigator! You in here?
John, is that you?
Who you want? Certainly, I told.
How the hell did you get here?
I looked for you at Ellis Island, but you disappeared. So I go back to your friend in club.
You went to see Greta?
Yes, your friend with the red hairs. But when I get to joint, I see her and girl get in car with same guy I see in port.
Dannazione. They already got them.
I decided to follow the car here, but they stayed not long. Man from the port met a woman and two guys. They talked something about ferry that was waiting, and they left.
Do you know where they went?
I don't know. They left half hour ago.
Where are we?
Oh, but you in my town! Chinatown!
Can you find a way to get me out of here?
No, only entrance is this shutter. I cannot open.
I'm going to go back to figuring out a way to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm sure that whoever set up this distillery also put in an emergency exit, just in case the police came. It's almost dawn. There aren't any openings. I have to find... It's almost dawn. There aren't any openings, and even if I broke the window, I couldn't fit through. I have to find another way to get out of here, and I have to... I can't think of anything. These crates contain peat, the combustible used to produce some kinds of whiskey. No clue. No clue. I'm not going to play. No. No clue. It's the distillation system. Sooner or later, I'll buy one for my office. I don't think it's the right time to get into illegal booze, a business from the past. The end of Prohibition convinced all the mob bosses to switch to other types of business, much worse than booze. This barrel is too heavy to move. No. Pretty strange thing to find in an illegal distillery. It's the distillation system. John,
Investigate.
can you find a way?
No.
I'm going to go.
Okay.
Pretty strange thing to find in an illegal distillery. I was sure that there was some kind of a secret passage in here. the many advices my mother gave me when I was little. I think I'll continue to follow that advice. Rusted hooks and ropes that have seen better days. I'll take one of the ropes. I took a couple. It could come in handy. It's so dark in here I can't even see the back of my hand. Welcome on board, ladies and gentlemen. The panoramic tour of the sewers of New York is about to start.